Hello, my name is Nathaniel Penland, but my friends just call me Nate, and I would invite you to do the same thing. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia in August of 2013 from Grand Junction, Colorado, and my family has been living here ever since. I have been married to my beautiful wife Lori for 13 years, and we have a pretty little 8-year-old girl who's also bouncy and giggly and a lot of fun. Her name is Susie, by the way. We have a little lazy beagle named BB, who is 7 years old and lays around, but is a great family dog. And we're kind of dog people, so we like her. Besides being an adjunct instructor for CAGs at CCU, um, I also now work for AT&T in the business ordering department for large businesses who order IP data. What was my best and worst experience with speaking in public? Well, they were both at funerals. I had been invited as a local pastor to preach the funeral for a man I had never met. And while I was preaching the funeral, I forgot his name. And that's kind of important when you're speaking about someone at their funeral and all their family is there. So someone had to yell his name to me, and that was a little embarrassing and really difficult to go on at that point. But I did, and I made it through it, and thankfully they were very understanding and forgiving. But that was probably the worst that I can remember, being embarrassed, forgetting someone's name at their funeral. My best was also at a funeral, and it was both a sad moment and a great moment. My mother passed away very suddenly in 2010, and she was a godly woman and a great woman. I loved her. I was very, very close to her, but she wanted me. I knew that she had asked me. She knew she was sick and could die, and eventually she did. But during that time, we had a lot of good talks, and she asked me if she did pass away to preach her funeral and to keep preaching the gospel is what she really wanted me to do and to live my life for. And so it just made a lot of sense for me to go ahead and preach her funeral, even though I knew it was going to be difficult. But I made it through, and I preached to about 200 people that had come and loved my mother and knew her well, but many of them were lost and did not know the Lord. And so I was able to preach the gospel to them at that time while also honoring my mother. And I know she was honored by that. And several people came up to me, not only expressing the fact that they enjoyed what I had to say about my mother and getting to know her from my perspective, but also wanting to know more about the Lord. And so that was good. As far as what my expectations are, my goals for this class, it's for all of you to gain a greater confidence in not only writing speeches, but delivering them to public audiences. Some of you are going to be to a place where you've spoken a lot in public because of your job or because of school or whatever it is that you have had to do. That puts you in the public eye, but some of you have not done it a lot and get very nervous in doing that. I would like to give you a greater confidence in speaking in public and growing in that area by the time that you get out of this class. How do you think God can use your verbal and nonverbal communication skills? Well, obviously nonverbal are important. It's important how you look in front of people, that you're prepared to speak to them, that you take seriously what you're saying, and how you come across are very important things. And we're going to talk about that more in this class, whether it be hand gestures or facial expressions. But the most important to me and how God has used me is the verbal communication, that I learned to speak the truth in love to people. And the greatest truth I know of is the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it's one of the reasons I'm teaching here at CCU, a very Christian university with Christian curriculum. Even in oral communications, you're going to be asked about your faith. You're going to be asked to share about things that are important to you and how your faith has changed and grown over the years. And the Apostle Paul said, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek." So I believe that, of course, that is the greatest way that God will use me verbally. I look forward to getting to know all of you. Sorry for dropping the camera a little while ago, but it does happen, and I will talk to you. Please reach out to me with any questions that you have as we get started in the class, and I look forward to hearing from you.